I know everybody thinks they know what they're doing and what this is all about. Yes. Anybody?
Phillips and flathead.
Nice.
No, there's just two different types of screwdrivers. It's Phillips and flathead.
Nice. Most people recognize this as a Phillips head. Most people recognize it as Phillips head. However, the actual, the real name of this is a number 2 Phillips head. We have a number 2 Phillips head, a number 1 Phillips head, and actually the smallest one is a, nice, but the old timers called it an aught. Old timers called 0 aught, but it is a 0. This is a 0, the smallest. And we're not talking about length here. We're talking about the diameter around. So this is a number 2 Phillips head, number 1 Phillips head, and an aught Phillips head. If you've got, you probably match. How many people in here have ever put in a Phillips head screw and stripped the head of the screw? How many people in here have ever put in a Phillips head screw and stripped the head of the screwdriver? Most of us have done that. Why have we done that? We're not properly matched. If you are properly matched, that should work. This is not a magnetic screwdriver. It's just a good fit. That's a good fit. If I take a small screwdriver, number an aught, what am I going to do? I'm going to strip the head of the screwdriver. If I take a small little itty bitty screw, which you guys are going to use on your box, on that box that we're making, and you use a big screwdriver, what are you going to do? Strip the screw. So you have to match them properly, okay? So those are number 2, number 1, and aught. Phillips head. Knowing that, yes sir? Aught. I think it's A-U-G-H-T. Aught. I don't know why. That's just old stuff. Aught. Or 0. 0 will work also. But aught, yeah. And I know you guys think I talk funny, but that's the way the Yankees talk. You guys are all talk funny to me. Knowing that, this guy must be a
Flathead.
Keep going. What did we just learn? Nice. This is a number 2 flathead. And I have heard all of this, so of course I will take all of this. Flathead, regular, or slotted. Depends on where you're from and what you hear. This is a number 2 flathead, flathead, slotted, or regular. Then this guy would be a number 1. And we have an aught, but I don't know where it's at right now. But we have an aught. These are Allen wrenches. Another fastening device. How many people have ever seen square fit screws? How about hex? How about star or Torx? Why do they keep coming out with new screwdrivers?
Money.
To prevent someone else from taking them out.
Money, baby. Money. They keep coming up with a new screwdriver or a new screw. You got to buy a new screwdriver. You got to buy new screws. You got to buy new tools. Just keep the money flowing, you know. So they try to make sure that you keep spending. Hey, let's move on. So we move on to him. This guy right here is a
Claw.
Nice. Who said that? Nice. This is the claw hammer. In other words, we're going to be able to pound nails in, and we're going to be able to remove them with the claw. And it's leverage. I got people that do this constantly. They're pulling. Using this leverage. That's what it's designed to do. Leverage. You guys don't go over the 6 simple machines anymore? What a shame. Okay. You need to sometime look up 6 simple machines. This is a
Wedge hammer.
small sledge. Very good. Small sledgehammer. This is a small sledgehammer. When you need that little bit extra weight, a little bit more power. Small sledge. This guy would be wooden mallet. Now, when you're working with wood, which you guys are all working with wood, if I take this hammer, the claw hammer, I'm going to end up putting what they call mule marks in my wood. Not good. It doesn't look good. It's not real nice looking. So in that case, when I have to use a little bit of force and I need to move some wood, and you will, in fact, you're going to need it on the glue tables because you're going to have to realign your wood. As soon as you glue butt joints, they're going to slide all over the place. You loosen up the clamps, pound them back in place, and then retighten the clamps. And I'll see you guys constantly tighten up the clamps, beat the snot out of everything, and it won't move. And you're like, Bongo, it won't move. Loosen the clamps back up. Loosen them up and let them move. Okay? So, wooden mallet. Try not to use these now for the sled or the claw handle because they're going to just leave them out. As long as we are on taking and putting in nails, let's go over how to remove nails. This guy is a
small crowbar.
It's a crowbar.
It's all good guessing. Let's start with this one then. Now it is a
Crowbar.
This is a crowbar. This guy's a crowbar. This is a really nice, versatile, and handy tool, especially when you're doing demo. When you're demolishing or tearing out a house, this is the tool of choice. Except for maybe a chainsaw and a sawzall. Those guys are real valuable too. But this guy, if you're going to, you can go ahead and you can knock out drywall, you can knock out 2x4s, and if you have to pry things apart, 2x4s, 2x6s, and if you have to pull out nails. And again, this uses leverage to its advantage. Leverage to pry things apart. Crowbar. This is a crowbar. This guy is a, and I've heard three names for this. Flat bar, this is called a flat bar, a pry bar, and a wonder bar. Flat bar, pry bar, and a wonder bar. Pull nails here, and that little teardrop, pull nails here. Also pries things apart. Really nice tool. Very, very useful. Most of the stuff is used in construction. Here is a, good guesses, good guesses. However, there's sometimes when you're kind of trying to pull 2x4s apart, pull stuff apart, pull nails out, and sometimes those nails are countersunk. When are those nails countersunk? When they're, you know what countersunk even is? Yes, they're counter underneath into the wood. They're countersunk. How did they get countersunk? No, not with a hammer.
Nail gun.
With a gun. That gun drove them in deeper. Well, if they're driven in real deep, you can't hardly get to them with any of the pry bars, the crowbars, and the claw hammers. That's where this comes in. This guy is going to dig in deep. And this guy is called a cat's paw. C-A-T, because it looks like a
Cat's paw.
It does to me. So this maybe this is called a toenail off of a cow or something tool. Cat's paw. This is a cat's paw. That is a cat's paw. I think that's it for nail removing. So let's go ahead into cutting device. This guy right here is a kind of saw.
Hand saw.
Nice. It's a hand saw. Let's keep going with it. Who said it? Nice. It is a wood hand saw. This guy's a wood hand saw. Wood hand saw. This guy is a
hacksaw.
This is a hacksaw. This is a hacksaw. And this guy is for cutting. Yes. Metal and nice, very nice. Plastic. Plastic and metal. Wow, if this thing cuts metal, imagine what it's going to do to wood. Nothing. The teeth are too fine. You will sit here and you will wear out your elbow trying to cut wood with this. Don't do it. You're just going to take forever. The teeth are too small. They're designed for cutting metal and plastic.
Are we going to be?
No. This is close. It's, you know already it's a
Mini.
mini hacksaw. This is a mini hacksaw. Why? Yes, but why? Because it's going to be able to get in that real awkward place. I got to get behind, it's in that real small little place, and I got to get behind the wall, and I got to cut that. Also, when it's this size, I can throw this in my toolbox. I can throw this guy in my toolbox. You're trying, brother, I know. You're trying, I give you credit for that. So this is a mini hacksaw, so you can get that tight little spot, and also you can throw it in the toolbox. As long as we're on cutting, I'll take either box cutter or utility knife. Box cutter or utility knife. I try to buy good tools. This is a nice tool. Very, very nice tool. Oh, hey, by the way, guys, you know when you come to school and you go, oh, geez, I can't bring a knife to school. We have knives here. Sharper than any knife you're bringing. This is a razor. Sharper than any knife you're bringing. Anybody bring a gun today? No? We all know you can't bring a gun to school. However, go ahead and hold it up. We have a trim gun, staple gun, and we also have a, go ahead and hold it up. We also have a framing gun. Framing, yeah. Yes, no doubt. No doubt.
They all have a built-in safety.
Wait. So in other words, yeah, we have dangerous equipment in here. This is a dangerous place. So again, you know, I mean, this bin sharper than anything you're going to bring in. So it's just, what are you using for? These are designed for using for work. And you need to know how to use this machinery. You need to know how to use the tools properly instead of just being in here and just being a, I don't know what, just being in for trouble. This is a utility knife or a box cutter. Now, the ones that I got are really nice. Back in the old day, you had to take to change the blade. You had to take the screw off, you had to open the handle up, and then there's a spring inside, and it pops open, and all the parts go flying. So annoying. This guy extended out as far as it could possibly go, push the yellow button, and out comes the blade. Flip the blade over, push the yellow button, and insert it back in, and you're off and running. Ooh, both ends of the blade were bad. Well, no big deal. Look inside, and there are more blades inside. Nice, nice tool. Try to get the good ones. Hey, anybody at all know what that's about?
What?
Paper cutter, and/or letter.
You can cut wire.
String. You can cut string on this thing without even opening or extending the blade out. It's in here. So a lot of times back in the day, packaging was done with string, and you could just not even pull this out. And so, you know, a lot of people will keep knives and tools in pockets, and so you don't have to extend it, and you can use cutting tools. Cutting tools, as long as we're moving in cutting tools, let's move towards, let's go with these. These are drill bits. These guys are called, we have 3 or 4 different types of drilling. These are all still cutting tools. This guy is a twist bit. This is called a twist bit. It's empty right now, it's half empty right now because we're sharpening them. And we're going to have a full set of drill bits. These are called twist bits. Excuse me. And they are for cutting wood and metal and plastic. Wood, metal, and plastic. So you can cut all of that with these. Okay, this is upper level stuff, if you guys know. This is upper level stuff. What's the largest one we got in here? What size is it? What size is the largest one I got right here?
1/2 inch.
No. Good guess. Nope. It is a measurement. Nope. What? Nope. Nope. It's the largest bit that will fit in here. Anybody know what size this drill is? 3/8. This is a 3/8 drill. 3/8 drill. So the largest bit I can put in here would be 3/8. This is the largest bit that I'm going to be able to drill with. But Mr. Longo, when I make my cutting board, I want a handle in it. I want a hole in there that's probably an inch. I want an inch. Well, that's all we got is 3/8. So let's move over to a different tool. This guy right here, these guys right here are
Hole bit.
maybe that's what they're used for, but they have a name. And these guys are, the name of these are spade bit. Why?
Look like a spade.
Looks like a spade or a shovel. The other name for it is a paddle bit. Paddle bit. That was close with rowboat though. That was close. Paddle bit or a spade bit? Paddle bit or a spade bit? Now, if you're going to cut, these are great for cutting into 2x4s and running electrical or plumbing, but they leave a nasty cut. They're going to splinter and they're going to blow out the wood. So in finished projects like what you guys are doing, do not use them. Instead, I would advise you to use these guys. These guys are called Forstner bits. Fortner. Forstner bits. Fortner. Forstner bits. Yes, and you guys are going to use those, especially if you're going to make a cutting board handle in your cutting board. Don't see one. Is there a cutting board out here somewhere? Oh, and does it have a hole in it? Yes, it does. Thank you very much. And that came from a Forstner bit. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. We have one more, which you probably will not be using in this class, but it sure is nice to be able to know it, recognize it. This guy is a nice, close. On that one, you're just throwing them out there. I'd say it is. It's very close. I think, it's just a rule of you throw enough, something's going to stick. This is a hole saw, because it looks like a saw blade. Hole saw. And, again, you probably won't use it in the woodworking, but you know where it's used most of the time? Cutting out the door handle. Yeah, to put the doorknob on. So they need a hole saw, something that's going to cut through there really quick and take that piece right out and then be able to put the doorknob in. That was actually for cutting a plug. I don't know why it's out here, but that was for cutting a plug. It's probably with the bits. Hey, let's move over to, I guess as long as we're cutting, we're still in cutting mode. This guy is a chisel. Grizzle. This is a chisel. McGrizzle. Let me sharpen it. You're going to use a chisel. You will be using a chisel, no doubt. Let me sharpen it. Try not. Don't sharpen it. Let me do it. Because everybody that sharpens it ends up dulling it. This guy is a file. And it's for cutting. Yes, cuts them all. Now, we all know from a saw, which we learned earlier, this guy cuts on the downward stroke. Cuts on a downward stroke. When you come back, you're just repositioning. Yes, sir.
What was that called?
File. F-I-L-E. And all you girls in here should have been able to recognize this right away, because you guys have all have a nail file. This is a file. Now, when this thing gets clogged up full of wood sawdust, the best probably way to clean it out, you can clean it out with air, but the very best way to clean it out is wire brush. A wire brush will clean that out. Because once it's all full of wood, it's not going to cut anymore. With the grain, when you cut, or with this, no, you just, yeah, you'll cut, and then you clean it with a wire brush back and forth, just to get all that stuff out. Yes. No, will it take out ridges on here? No, it won't. Yeah. Yep. Okay, cutting.
Scissors.
Everybody should have been able to recognize that. These are scissors. Why? Why would we be using scissors? You guys will. Some people in here will. You'll probably use these scissors. Pardon me? That's exactly. Tracing something. Sometimes, you know, I got my second year guys, and they'll make signs. They make signs in here like crazy. So they may cut letters out. They'll print letters on the copy machine. Print them out, and then put them on the board, and then we'll cut them. They'll cut them out. Scissors. And then now these guys are. These ones are tin snips or shears. Tin shears. They're for cutting metal. When we had to put in all of these ductwork, all this stuff, these guys had to cut some of the metal. Okay, where are we headed to now? Should we go measurement? Want to go pliers? Okay, we'll go pliers. Let's go pliers. Okay, let's go pliers. We'll start out with a simple, common pliers. These guys are called slip joint, because we know this is a joint where they join together. These are slip joint pliers. Slip joint pliers. They adjust wider, adjust smaller. Slip joint pliers. These guys, most everybody recognizes these. Needle nose. These are needle nose pliers. They'll grab something far in. They also will cut
Wire.
nice wire. They'll also cut wire. These guys, speaking of cutting wire, these guys I'll take wire cutters. This one's got several names. I'll take wire cutters. I'll take side cutters. I will take diagonal pliers, and the one that they get diagonal cut down to or short down to is dikes. Dikes or diagonal pliers, side cutters, or wire cutters. These guys are nice. These guys are channel locks. These guys are channel locks. Adjust. Plumbers. I think this is probably most commonly used either by mechanics or plumbers. You know, you got to grab a hole of pipe, turn a pipe. These work out real nice. These guys are probably one of the most practical pair of pliers. These guys are
channel locks.
Those guys were channel locks there. Vice grips. These guys are vice grips. They will adjust. Down here, there's a little screw. They adjust. The jaws will open up. The jaws will close. That's nice. The nice part about them, they adjust. The best part about them is they will clamp. They will clamp. And a lot of people use them for the clamping. I mean, they hold on nice, hold on tight. To release them, down here, there's a little lever. Push it, and they'll open back up. If it looks like you broke them, not so much. That piece will go right back in. and you're up and running again. Okay? Vice grips. Vice grips. Measurement. We're moving along pretty good, actually. Measurement. This. Thank you. Thank you. Now, anybody got tape? Can you hand me a tape over there? Lower left.
Lower left.
Yep. Tape measure. Yeah. You're a good thrower. Okay. Tape measure. This is a tape measure. 25-foot tape measure. I'm going to go through the don'ts. Don't run this thing out there 25 feet and then bring it back. Because I hope that if you bring it back, ow, I hope you hurt your finger. You're screwing up my tape measure. Don't do that. Let it come back. Hold on to it. Okay? Don't screw up the spring in that tape measure. Also, this thing's curved. There's a curve in this. Why? What?
Bend it.
No, just the opposite.
Helps stabilize it.
It won't bend. So I can run out 6 feet before it bends. So if I want to measure something, I can go, well, I got to measure to that wall. I know I can get 6 foot from it, I can move to it. So it's curved so it doesn't bend. So when I see you standing there and going, hey Longo, what's happening? You have a good weekend? Don't do that. It drives me nuts. You know darn well that if you take metal and you bend it back and forth enough, what's going to happen? It will fatigue and it will break. It'll break. So don't do that. Don't bend my tape measure. There is a lock on this tape measure, so you can lock it open. I will see people constantly in here trying to measure something, and they'll go. Just lock it open. Lock it open. It's a lot easier to measure that way. There is an end on here that's loose. There's an end on here that's loose. Maybe we should take a pair of pliers or a hammer and tighten that up.
Oh, okay.
No. Why? Why is this end loose?
So it can hang on the stone.
Well, it can hang on if it's tight.
So if you have like an extra wall, facing people counts as an extra knob.
Nice, Morano. Very nice. He's saying it. He may not be explaining it properly, but very nice. This end is on here loose for a reason. If I want to measure the outside of something, it will slide out. So I measure like this. If I want to measure the inside of something, the inside of this box, that little piece on the end will move in. How much does it move?
360.
380.
It's not a measurement. It is simply the thickness of this. Whatever this thickness is how much it will move. So it adjusts back and forth so you can measure inside accurately and you can measure outside accurately. There's so much of this stuff that people just don't know. I had a student in my class, and he was like, "Oh, my dad and I, we're working, and we're carpenters, and he's been working 20 years, and I worked with him. Man, oh man, oh man, I know all this stuff." I said, "Oh, that's cool. Glad to hear it." Well, we went over one particular tool, and then he went home and he told his dad. He said, "Dad, do you have any idea what that tool can do?" And he said, "Well, yeah, we'll do this and this." And he goes, "Dad, sit down." He said, "We'll do this, 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 this." His dad goes, "I've been working 20 years. I never had any idea that that tool had that much on it." So it's just like computers. You can use a lot or you can use a little bit. I'm here to try to teach you a lot so that you can use the most that you possibly can. On here, I see a black mark there at 12 inches. I see another black mark at 24, another black mark at 36. So every black mark is a foot. Thank you. Every black mark on here will be a foot. Wait a minute. I'm seeing red marks here. 16. What? No, not a yard. No, not a meter. And everything in here, you guys, we're not going to go with, we don't use in here metric, and the other thing we don't use in here, well, any metric. Any metric we don't use in here, and the other thing we don't use in here, decimals. We go with fractions. We don't go with decimals, we go with fractions. So I see a mark here at 16. I see another mark at 32. I see another mark at 48. So it's every
Foot and a third.
16 inches. Every 16 inches there's a red mark on here. Why?
Foot and a third.
Why? Where? Where? Where is it the most important? Obviously, they must have said it was important enough to make every one of them red. Where are we going to use? Who's using this tape? Mostly. What workers?
Construction.
Good. What's particular construction? Definitely a home builder. And who is building homes? Carpenters. Carpenters. So when they're going to build a house, they're going to put up walls. And inside those walls, when they frame up the walls, inside of them, those 2x4s are called studs. Those are studs. In that wall are studs. And how far apart is each stud from each other? 16 inches. I'm going to build a wall. And I want a wall that is 15 feet. How many 2x4s do I need? Uh-oh, here comes the math. Simple. It's simple. All I do is throw out a tape measure, 15 feet, and count all the red marks. I don't know. I mean, I can do that. I can go 15 feet out. I have to have one on that end, and then I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13. How many feet did I say? 15? I gotta back up then. So I gotta go to here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I need 13 studs to frame up that wall. 13 studs to frame up that wall. I didn't have to do any math. I didn't have to. It's real simple. Tape measure. Okay. That's tape measure. You know what? You guys want a couple minutes? You get bored? Okay. Let's take a couple. Let's start off with this guy right here. Okay, keep going. Close. He's close with the meter. But we're not doing meters. This is a 4-foot level. This guy's a 4-foot level. 4-foot level. Now, we need to go over this stuff. This is a 4-foot level. What am I checking for? Level. Exactly. I am checking to make sure something is level. But I don't know what that means. What does that mean to check to see if something is level? I'm hearing even, I'm hearing flat, I'm hearing perfectly, I'm hearing level a lot. Still, I don't understand what that means. I do need to understand this. Did you get that? What? Go ahead and tell me. What does level mean? Even. No? No? You need to pay attention to me. And your buddy needs to pay attention to me. So again, tell me what it means. Parallel to what?
To the water level.
To the ground. Parallel to the ground. If I'm going to do something, I heard horizontal and I heard parallel. If I wanted something to be horizontal level, this is horizontal level. So I'm making sure that whatever I have here is parallel to the ground. That's checking for level. That's this vial right here. This little vial right here and this one will make sure that something is vertical level. And it is what to the ground now? Perpendicular. It is perpendicular to the ground. What's the difference between parallel and perpendicular? Parallel, like railroad tracks, they're not going to intersect. They run exactly even to each other, or not even, but along each other. They're parallel. Perpendicular to the ground means that it is 90-degree angle. It's a 90-degree angle. So, if this is, but we don't call this one level. If it's we're checking for vertical, we're not going to call it level. We call that one plumb. P-L-U-M-B. P-L-U-M-B. Plumb. Plumb. P-L-U-M-B. So, plumb is to check something level, vertical. To go vertical level is called plumb. Okay. I want to check something level. I'm going to check the tabletop, make sure it's level. What am I going to check in a house? What do I have to make sure that is plumb? Walls. Definitely walls. I want my walls not to be slanted. I want them to be perpendicular with the ground. I want them to be plumb. Also, what else should I check to make sure that it is plumb? Floor, I need to make sure that it is level. Yes, everything, we gotta check, make sure everything's plumb. The floor should be level. The walls should be, okay. What else should be plumb for sure? What else should be plumb for sure?
Plumbing?
Definitely all
Plumbing.
what should be plumb for sure? Doors and, I heard the other one, windows. Your doors and windows are not plumb, guess what?
Ain't opening?
They're not opening and they're not closing. Your doors and windows aren't plumb, they're not going to open and they're not going to close. Okay? This guy is, in the old timers, old timers call this a plumb stick. Plumb stick. Just because they're old timers. This guy is good. What size is this one? Then this one is? This is a 2-foot level. This is a 2-foot level. And I'm going to check right now, I'm checking for what? Right now I'm checking for what? Very nice. This guy right here is pretty cool. This guy is called a torpedo level. Torpedo level. Torpedo. Don't you think it looks like a little torpedo? What would you call it? That's not a bad idea. I like that one. But they do make one. Who are you? Who are you? Mitchell? Go in the top and middle drawer of my desk, and you'll see a pocket level. Top, middle drawer of my desk. This guy is called a torpedo level. This is a torpedo level. What am I checking for?
Levels.
What am I checking for? And this one's got a neat little feature. This one, I'll tell you in a minute.
Magnetic.
This guy has really kind of a cool little feature on it. It will check for what? What diagonal?
45 degree.
What?
45 degree.
Or? Nice. 45 or lighter. Okay, here's a nice little lesson for you. Who's using this? Let's go back to the trades. Who? Carpenters, yes. But you know who really uses this one a lot?
The roof.
Roof people is a good one too. That's carpenter. Who? Plumbers. Plumbers. Okay. Top middle. Top middle drawer. Looks like an ink pen. Okay, let's go back. Thought it was an ink pen, didn't you? I know.
Wow.
This does look like a pen. This is a
Pocket level.
pocket level. That's a pocket level. Okay, let's go back to this again. Plumbers. Plumbers will use this a lot. Okay, let's think about this a second. Where does the water come from in your house? Where does it come from? Where? Some people come from the ground. But if you live in the city, where's your water coming from? Wait, let's go back to this. It's either the city's pumping it in. Either the city is pumping it in, or it's coming from where? Why do they have that thing so high? Nice. Gravity. Gravity pushed it down into the pipe, so that when you open up a faucet, and you open up your spigot outside to water the lawn, that water is under pressure. It's under pressure. It's got to flow. It's got to push. It's got to open something up. Okay? It's under pressure. The water that leaves your house, does that go under pressure? You don't stand there and fill up a sink and then push it back out. Huh? It flows away, is that what you said? It should flow away. It should flow away from your house. How does it flow away from your house? Because the pipes are on an angle away from your house. Agreed? So if I'm putting pipes in and I'm a plumber and I'm putting in all these pipes, I better make sure that the pipe flows away from the house. And if I put pipes in that flow back towards the house, then what happens? All my plumbing water, all the waste water comes back up in the drain. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my level on here and make sure it flows away. I'm going to make sure it flows. And the manufacturers knew that that was going to be a problem. And since I'm a manufacturer and I want you to buy my tool, what I'm going to do is make it easier for you to use.
What in the?
So, I want you to use my tools, so I'm going to make my tools easier to use. So I'm going to put a magnet on my level, and then you buy mine. So it sticks to your pipe. Okay, those are all the levels. Let's go over this guy.
90.
This is a
90.
nice. It is a square, but we have several of them. This guy is called a framing square. Is it for making picture frames?
No.
Why do I call it a framing square then?
Framing the house.
Nice. It helps me frame the house. The carpenter needs to build a frame for the house so I can put drywall on it, so I can run electric through it, so I can put sheathing on the outside. He needs to build the frame up the house. What measurement is this?
90.
No, I know this. This is 90, I agree. That's 90. What is this length right here?
16 inches.
What?
16 inches.
16? Where did you get that crazy number? Studs. This is 16 inches. So when I go to measure, I know all my studs are 16. They're going to make this easier on me. The walls, the 2x4s in the walls are studs. The ones in the floor and in the ceiling are called joists. You don't need to know this, but this is just for your own little information. Joists, J-O-I-S-T, those are called joists. And how far apart are floor and ceiling joists?
That one. 32.
24 inches apart. They are 24 inches apart. And again, they're making this easy on me. They made the framing square 16 by 24, so I don't even have to pull out a tape measure. I can just lay this on here, and I know that they're 24 by 16. There is an absolute horrendous, huge amount of information on here. All these numbers on here are all set up to do the math so that you can measure angles, different types of angles. What different types of angles are in a house? Okay, there's definitely going to be 45. There's all kinds of angles in a house. Particularly, what are we talking about? What part of the house?
The roof.
Definitely the roof. What other part of the house is going to be on an angle? Stairs. Stairs. How many people have ever gone up a flight of stairs, and by the time you got to the top of the stairs, you go, oh my God, I'm dying here. Because the stairs were too steep. The stairs were almost like a ladder. They were real narrow and real steep. They built those stairs wrong. How many people have ever gone up a set of flight of stairs? They go up and up and up and up, and then they look down and they're only this far off the ground. Because those stairs are too wide and they're too shallow. They go up like this. So the stairs go up like this, or the stairs go up like this. There's a degree of angle that you should be going, and this helps you to measure it. And the optimum degree, I think, is 30 degrees. You should be able to walk upstairs at 30 degrees. That's comfortable. They should be 10 and a half to 11 inches on the step, because a foot is a foot. So, and they should only rise like maybe about 7 inches. Okay. There's a huge amount of information on there. But again, the manufacturers go, we got to make this easier for those guys. We got to make it easier, and we got to make it more convenient. This is a speed square. This is a speed square. And on here, they have all of the measurements on here for roofs and for stairs. All the measurements on here. A lot easier and a lot faster. We're going to use it because we need to measure what? What angle? 90. We need to make a 90-degree angle. We also need to measure awful lot in here. What angle? And 45, 90, what's this one gotta be? 45. Why did it have to be 45? The inside of a triangle measures 180. 45 and 45 is 90. 90 and 90 is 180. So this is, if I cut it, sorry, into the picture now. If I cut it 40, if I cut it 90 degrees, I should sand it 90 degrees. That's not hard to tell. I need to be able to adjust to the machinery. If I cut it 45 degrees, I need to be able to sand it 45 degrees. This is where this comes in. If you're looking for the carpenter on a job site, look for this. If you see this, you find your carpenter. This guy holds this tight. He's either got it in his nail bag, nail pouch, or he's got it in his back pocket. He uses this tons and tons. This guy, probably one of my favorite tools. This is a really, really cool tool. This is a combination square. Combination square. I can do a combination of different stuff with this. I can measure how long. I can measure how long. 12 inches or a foot, anywhere from 0 to 12 inches with a foot. I can measure what angle?
90,
I can measure what angle?
45.
45. I can check to make sure something is level. You can't check plumb, but you can check level. And this is probably my favorite thing to do with this. Who's got a pencil? I need to drill holes in this. And I need to drill 20 holes in this thing. And those holes need to be 2 inches down. So I got to measure 2 inches down. I'm going to measure 2 inches down on here. So I measure here and I go, that's 2. Wait a minute. Yeah, that's 2. And yeah, that's 2. What a pain in the keister. How long is that going to take? I'm going to take a combination square and I'm going to set it at 2 inches. Now that I'm set at 2 inches, I just lay it on there and I go, that's 2, that's 2, that's 2. I can make repeat measurements with this. Repeat measurements over and over and over. You guys will be using this. And if you're really good, you can do something like this. That's 2 inches all along. Nice. Thank you. That's pretty cool. Cool tool. If you learn how to use these tools for their most, man. This is good. I'll take chalk box or chalk line. Chalk box or chalk line. Okay. Now I need to be able to, I'm going to cut that board 13 inches. I can't do that with this. This won't go 13 inches. I need to cut it 13 inches though. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to measure 13 inches on here, on that end. I'm going to measure 13 inches over here on this end. I'm going to take the chalk box, make sure that there's chalk on my line, open it up. Montgomery, he's going to put it on that side. In fact, there's a little hook on there. I'm going to take and make sure it's nice and tight. And I'm going to put it on this end. And I'm going to snap a line on there. And I've got 13 inches the whole way. Go ahead and say it. Dude, that's cool. Wow, that's cool. I'm going to put flooring in here. I'm going to start in the middle of the shop. Why am I going to start in the middle of the shop? So I'm going to come out even. Symmetrical. Symmetrical. Anybody know what symmetrical is? Yes. It's identical, same on both sides. This is symmetrical. If I cut it in half, it'll fold right over each other. This is symmetrical. This is symmetrical. So if I start in this end with a tile, and I get all the way over to the other wall, I started with a full, and I ended up with a quarter. Is that good planning?
No.
No. So you should start where? In the middle. Dead center. Can't say what I'm going to say, what I want to say. Dead center. So you can start dead center in this room. Now, how do I draw a line all the way down there and all the way over here? Chalk line. I can go with chalk line all the way. Many, many times in a house, somebody's going to put a ceiling in there. And they need to be able to mark all the way over there so that they know where the ceiling goes. They're going to take a chalk line from there, chalk line from there, snap it, go all the way around the room. And that's where they know where that height of it is. Sample gun, I don't know how much you're going to use it in here. It's pretty harmless. But do not load this. Do not load it. Let me load it. I can't tell you how many times you guys screw this thing up just loading a staple gun. So please, don't load it. When it's empty, come get me. I'll be happy to load it. And I think last but not least, there's a pair of tweezers. Yeah, it's very cool. You know what? I didn't want to buy these because they were $10. $10. I know. I'm glad I did buy it. $10 for a pair of tweezers. I'm like, I can go to the dollar store and get them for $1. The only thing is I have certain vendors. I can only go to certain places. I can't go to the dollar store and buy stuff. I could go there and buy paintbrushes real cheap. You know, it's $5 at Home Depot for a paintbrush, and it's $1 at the dollar store. So the problem is, and I'm like, I hate to do it, but I'm glad I did, because there's a couple of features on here that are really nice about these tweezers. One, they're sharp. You're going to be able to get in there. You'll be able to tear up a little bit of skin, because you're going to have to. You may have to dig a little bit to get that sliver out. And yes, they have a little flashlight on here, because the lighting in here isn't always good, and it has a nice little flashlight in there. So these are really cool tweezers. Now, that being said, you're going to get hurt in here. Somebody's going to get hurt. This is a dangerous shot. You'll get splinters. I thank God if that's all you get is splinters in here. And I don't even care if you cut yourself, as long as it doesn't need stitches. How many people shave in here? You girls shave too, yes? You cut yourself how often? I probably cut myself once a week. I mean, you know what? Big deal. You don't even know. You cut yourself and all of a sudden you look and you go, oh crap, there's blood. And so it happens. And I don't care if that happens. I don't want stitches. We don't want stitches, and we sure don't want to lose fingers. Now, that all being said, we need to discuss something in here. One, there's one emergency in here. One and one only. And that is blood. That's the only emergency in here. Hey, Mr. Longo. Hey, Mr. Longo. Hey, Mr. Longo. Hey, Mr. What? I gotta go to the bathroom. It's okay. It's okay. You can go. We'll get you to the bathroom. Hey, Mr. Longo. Hey, Mr. Longo. I'm talking to somebody. What? What's the big deal? This weekend, I got a new dog. I don't care. I don't really care. There's only one emergency in here, and that is blood. And this is how it works when there is blood. Pay attention. This is serious stuff. And I'm not big on telling horror stories and gory stories. Oh, this is terrible, this happened, this could happen, this is what happened to me, and this is what happened to a student. You want to see nasty, ugly, gory, disgusting, scary stuff, YouTube. Go into woodworking, YouTube woodworking accidents, and you'll just be horrified. It's nasty what can happen in this class. So here's what's going to happen in here when there's blood. Usually, you don't know what happened. God had a wonderful plan. Kicks in the adrenaline, and a lot of times you don't even feel it. A lot of times you don't feel it. If there's blood in here, that person needs to come to see me. If they can't, because I've had people that are just freaked, totally freaked. I had a kid one time come to me and go, hey, Longo. And I was talking to somebody, but I could just tell there was no blood in him. I mean, he was white as could be. And he was kind of, and I go, what? And he just stood there. And I looked and looked. I had to keep looking for some blood. And finally, he holds up his finger, and he's got a nail straight through his finger.
Oh.
He shot a nail right straight through his finger.
Oh.
That little gun right there, he had a finishing nail. It's a small nail, and it's about the size of a sewing needle. And it went right through his fingernail and into his finger. And he was like, hey, Longo. And that was all. He just showed it to me. And I'm like, okay. So, of course, he had to go to the hospital, ER. He had to pull it out. Yeah. Yeah. So, going with that, we're back to this. If there is an emergency, and that is blood if somebody's hurt, get them to me. If they can't get themselves to me, get them to me. And then stay away from them. Stay away. I don't need your help unless I ask for it. I don't need your help. When you get to see blood for your first time, and it's your blood, it's scary. It's freaky. It's like, oh my God, I got blood coming out. I can't tell how deep the cut is, but I'm scared to death. They're freaking. They do not need somebody coming over and going, oh my God, that's terrible. They don't want to hear that. They don't need that. So again, stay away from me and stay away from them. Chances are I'm going to take them to ER or down to the nurse. We're going to see if we can get them patched up. If it's a small cut, doesn't need any stitches, usually I take it over to the sink. We'll put peroxide on it. We'll put a bandage on it. You go back to work. Hopefully, if you get cut, it's with a razor. Razors are the nicest, cleanest cuts here. Usually they're just small, clean cuts. I had a kid stab himself with a chisel one time. It was a nice, sharp chisel, clean cut. Got him over there, bandaged him up. Boom, he's off and running again. We stopped the bleeding and clean it up, and we put a Band-Aid on it. If I have to take them, I'll take them to the nurse, and you guys are on your own. That means no goofing around, no power. We shut the power off, no power, nobody works, and I go down, and chances are an assistant principal will come up here, another teacher will come up here and watch the class, and you guys just chill until we get them taken care of. Okay? Blood is the only emergency. Here's the extreme. I went through all of the little stuff. Here's the extreme. We lose a finger. This is a gruesome place. This is a scary, scary, scary place. Back when I had probably my second job, I had a student lost a finger, tip of a finger. I had a guy lost a tip of a finger in here. Tip of a finger on that green machine over there.
Oh.
Colt lost the tip of his finger on that one. Okay, here's the deal. If we lose a finger in here, I have a bag of ice. I don't have a freezer in here. Should have a freezer in here, but we don't. And there's a bag of ice in Ag Shop. So I go down, we get the finger, we put it on ice, we put him on ice. We try to get him to the ER so that we can try to get it reattached. Okay? That's...
I'd pick it up and be like, cool.
So again, guys, this is serious, scary, scary stuff. Serious, scary. This is really dangerous, dangerous shot. And the minute that you kind of go, that's probably when you're going to get hurt. And it would be a wonderful world. It would be a great world if the guy that was goofing off was always the one that got hurt. But that doesn't work that way. Doesn't always work that way. When you're on a piece of machinery and all of a sudden somebody pushes somebody else that pushes in against you and your hand goes into a saw, it wasn't your fault at all. You weren't doing anything wrong. So we're trying very, very hard to be safety conscious in here. Are there any questions? What time are we out of here? 18? You guys have got 6-7 minutes. Are there any questions? We went over probably 40 tools. There will be a test on Wednesday. 40 tools.